Hey Envy viewers, this is Olizandri bringing you some Dead Rising 2 here. This is the multiplayer element of it. Terror is reality, which is just like a game show built within the game world, as it were. It's one of the plot points in the game, but I think it stands alone as a brilliant little arcade game. Now it's set up like a TV show, so this is going to be a bit of an odd commentary because I'm going to give you over to the commentators whenever they're introducing things because it explains things. So here we go. TK, take it away.
First thing we're going to do is make us some zombie juice. Get ready to ride on your Zamboni!
Now it's time for Zamboni, where players drive zombie-sucking tanks, then fill collectors for points.
Oh man, if I had a dime for every time I watched you suck zombies.
So our first round is going to be Zamboni, and the basic gist of this is you are in a tank, run over as many zombies as possible and take in all their precious life blood as you grind them up. Now, I'm not sure though that zombies need their lifeblood, but whatever. And then you've got to find one of these mouths that you can see there in the arena that is open at the time, and more or less it's better if you find one that's away from the opposition. As you can see from the red guy, he's pushing me out the way so I can't aim. And one of the tactics people use in this is just to, whenever you're shooting the blood in, because you like to stay still, it's not really an aim while moving thing. They just nudge you out the way and make sure your aim goes off. As you see, the blue guy's being completely pushed out. So as I've said, this game is set up like it was a TV show, just a really demented, insane one. And it's set up in a way that there's 10 different games that you can play. The first 3 rounds are chosen at random from a pool of different games. And then there's a 4th final round that's always the same game, which is the game you first encounter when playing the Dead Rising 2 single player, called Slicicles. Now, it's kind of an introduction to terror as reality, as it were. It's one of the plot points in the game, as I've said. I won't go into the Dead Rising storyline because there's maybe people viewing this video that want to still play the game and don't really want to know anything about it. But I will say one thing about Dead Rising 2. If you've played Dead Rising 1, you've pretty much played 2. It's relatively the same. This is the new elements, the bringing the multiplayer into the series, and they've done something absolutely extraordinary with it. They've taken the whole area and building a TV show around it and putting a game inside a TV show is amazing. And one of the best parts of it, TK, take it away.
Time to shoot guns, make money, and play dirty like real Americans in Bounty Hunter!
With one good shot, you can prevent your opponents from scoring here in Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, that's one thing you don't need, Don, is any help preventing you from scoring.
To continue from where I was cut off, one of the best things about it is the absolute immersion that it brings to you. It just streams so well from first game, first round introduction, the announcer bringing us into the game, and then the gameplay starts, everything happens. As soon as the game over, straight to the scoreboard, scores totaled up. There's some nice colour commentary going on from these 2 announcers that go on, just, you know, like game commentators mid-game. So you've got your announcer, your pundits that talk or just introduce to entertain. And you've got these guys that are just cracking jokes during, or just saying like, this player's in a lead or this player's making a nice move. And then it's back off again to more gameplay, more scoreboards, more announcements. So you actually feel like you are watching or participating in one of these stupid game shows you see on TV. Just one that is a bit more insane, as I've said. It's like, this game is kind of like other party games in the fact that you've got like little mini games to play, and that's basically it. However, it's just an insane one. It's like the adult version of Mario Party. I've made this comparison on my own channel. It's like, well, when I was young, I loved Mario Party. I used to play it with some friends, and it was great fun, apart from, well, I think it was Mario Party 2 where you could wear blisters into your hands because some of them games were insanely hard to do or just required you to be ridiculously fast. I remember my hand thinking of the memory. But this is like, now I've grown up, there's now a party game for me where I can shoot, maim, dismember, kill all the zombies I want. It is just a grown up version of the minigame games. I mean, the Wii does it so well nowadays with all its like Wii Sports and all its minigames. But this is for adults. This is for like the generation now of gamers. Anyway, back to TK.
As long as these players are making fools of themselves, let's have some stand-up zombie!
In stand-up zombie, players stick props on zombies for points.
You said it, Don. Hats, tutus, and once in a while we'll even raid your closet for lingerie.
So this game isn't all about the killing, maiming, and general atrocities you can do to a zombie nation, even though we all love that. It's also about humiliating zombies. This game is about dressing them up in lovely little flower hats here, or picking up a tutu and wrapping it around their midriff, or in a more extreme case, getting a unicorn's head on a stick and jamming it through their midriff. Now if you complete a costume, as in you get 3 of your own coloured parts onto a zombie, you get a massive points bonus, and it's generally advised that you go for that, as I get chomped down on. There's no health or anything, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not sure if they're wearing protective suits or anything, but my guy obviously just got infected, so yeah, not exactly clever for a game show. But if you manage to put something on one of the opponent zombies that already has 2 parts on it, you can supposedly get a nice bonus as well. I think there's a guy that comes across later and tries to do me, but he fails quite miserably. He seems to hit the zombies that I've already completed, which is a complete failure on his part. Another cool aspect of the Dead Rising multiplayer is that all the money you earn from this ranked mode actually goes towards your single player game. So if you want to buy a car in the single player game, come compete in some terrorist reality and earn yourself some big bucks. Same thing if you're having problem finding Zombrex, which is a key part of the game, then come to terrorist reality and get your money and buy it from the pawn shop. Do yourself a favour really of not having to scour the whole place for it. So it's kind of a shortcut in some ways as well. So you're not only competing against your opponents, but you're also competing against yourself because you want to earn as much money as possible for your in-game character. So yeah, back to TK again.
People, are these players still in kindergarten? Well, maybe we can get some action that's not right off the playground with this last round. But we gonna mess with them kiddies a little. Our leader gets to start first, and everyone else trickles in behind. Let's get to Slice and Goals!
All right, this one's for all the marbles. It's time for Slice-A-Goes.
If it moves, kill it. And if it don't move, kill it anyway.
So now we're on the final round, the last battle for victory, Slicicles. Now, something you may have noticed with like the time penalty that was given for the points, so everyone else starts after me, as it were. It might remind you of the show Gladiators, where the points people accumulate come into time where the second place guy has to catch up the difference while doing the final obstacle course. And it's kind of on that vein. You can actually compare this game a lot to Gladiators, just, you know, sick demented version. Now what I'm going to do now, by the way, is a little tip, or didn't really turn out that well for me. When you've cleared the first area of zombies, the bonus round starts. So the zombies with the big balloons on their head, they give like a load of extra points. so I stopped to wait a second and line myself up and see where they were going to land. Unfortunately, none of them actually landed at that point in time. On my second ever game, I saw this guy use that tactic to great effect, and he just went straight through, got a massive lead, and it was crazy good. Anyway, what's to dislike about a game which involves you driving a motorbike with chainsaws on the handlebars and ripping a load of zombies apart at the waist, just zoom right through them? It's amazing. Now this game, I think, is one of the golden nuggets of gaming, you could put it that way. It's not even what Dead Rising is about. Dead Rising is a single player experience. It feels like they could have tacked on a multiplayer just for extra sales and extra revenue, but they did such a great job of it. They made this, in my opinion, better than the actual single player game itself. If they would have put this game on the arcade, the Xbox Live Arcade, or make a full version of it where you could play against more people and whatnot, I would buy it. I think the idea, the presentation of the game, the presentation itself is absolutely stellar. It would make a brilliant, at least an Xbox Live Arcade, if not a full game. So I barely scraped the victory in this one. I didn't do great on that Slicicles. I'm not very good at it. But I barely scraped the victory for my earlier round performances. And now I'll have to hand you back to TK for the end show.
Let's give it up for our winner, America! Come on over here, baby. I know what you're thinking. Give me some money, baby. Ha ha! No need to pay for it tonight, baby. Just like TK, they're gonna be all over you. Well, that's our show for tonight. Stay classy, America. Just like TK. Remember, you gotta risk it all if you're ever really gonna.
So I hope you've enjoyed this little taster of the multiplayer experience of Dead Rising. I mean, it's not what the game itself is about, but I feel it's good enough to show you guys. I think it's good enough to be a standalone show without commentary altogether. I would watch it. But anyway, this has been Olizandri, bringing you something a little different, I hope. Please check out the ENVE forums, please rate this vid, and come check out my channel. See you around.